Hi, Sandra Wilson here, clinical hypnotherapist. Now I'm back with the final part in this little mini-series about rejection sensitivity or rejection sensitive dysphoria in the workplace. So what would happen if you just imagined yourself walking into that meeting, feeling confident, standing tall, giving feedback, giving honest opinions to what other people might suggest, or maybe even just considering doing a presentation, answering questions thoughtfully and confidently, or even going for that promotion. So can you imagine not having that voice in your head whispering, what if they don't like me? There's bound to be lots of other better candidates than me. Maybe they think I'm stupid. They've probably heard this all before. My opinion doesn't count. Imagine being able to go through your working day without those voices. What would that be like for you? How would that impact your day? How would that impact how you were perceived in the role that you do? How would it affect your ability to climb and maybe get higher up in the company or the organisation you work for? So all of those little whispers of self-doubt can be a big part of rejection sensitivity, rejection sensitive dysphoria, and indeed ADHD. So healing rejection sensitivity isn't about becoming numb to it or pretending it's not there, because it can be the result of years of negative emotional conditioning and believing those messages. And chances are you've heard those negative messages ever since you were a kid. You're lazy, you're unreliable, you're too much, you're too loud, you're naughty, blah, 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 etc. So as you start to notice healing, it's not about ignoring the fact that it's there. It's just about noticing your nervous system feeling a bit safer. And I think the buzzword is regulated. So as you start to feel safer in those meetings, safer giving that presentation, safer applying for that promotion or the new role, it can be done. So calming the nervous system is a biggie. Reframing the rejection stories, those labels you may have been carrying around with you from the past, and strengthening your emotional boundaries and practicing, I'm going to call it self-validation, but what I mean when I say that is the ability to cheer yourself on, show up and encourage yourself. I can do this. Not everybody has to like me or agree with me. I can speak up in meetings because my opinion is important and valid. And I can stand up in front of a group of people because I know my stuff and what they are interested in what I have to say. And for ADHD, for women that struggle with ADHD, rejection sensitivity, this stuff is powerful. And because it does allow your creativity to shine through, your empathy and your brilliance, and also not to allow this fear of rejection to hold you back from success, from all that wealth that's just sitting there waiting for you as you become more successful. So you don't have to necessarily fix your sensitivity. You just have to learn to use it wisely. Now, it can be difficult to do this by yourself, not impossible. I know that in my time I've used all sorts of things, from positive affirmations to guided hypnosis audios. I am a hypnotherapist, of course, and this is the work that I love to do for you. And in therapy, I help women just like you to move from that emotional reactivity to emotional mastery, or being fully in control. And you'll go from fearing rejection to the point where it prevents you from taking the step, to maybe fearing rejection, but believing that you are resilient and you can cope with it. So you can go for those interviews feeling confident, even if you are nervous, that you can do that presentation, even if inwardly you're just trembling like a jelly, and that you can go for those leadership roles and fully believe that you deserve to be there with confidence, even though there's a part of you that's whispering, you're an imposter. So if this sounds like you, please consider contacting me for a little chat, because, you know, there's no pressure. I'm not suggesting that you have to make a decision to work with me, but I'm always open to having discussions and conversations. I'm very, very happy to talk to you about how I work, what I do, especially if you are noticing your rejection sensitivity preventing you from being successful in your career, in your job, or commanding attention in the workplace where you truly believe that you deserve it, but there's a part of you that's saying no. And I hope that's helped, and I will be back with more content next week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye for now.